Well, hello, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are on this blue dot. This is Blockchain Vitals, and it's our weekly segment, talking the weekly fractal, the weekly setup. Good morning in Asia, as the new week has dawned in Asia already. People are ready to fire. They're at the con, ready to trade, and you need to know what's going on in that weekly fractal. Did I say my name? Robert Heffernan, EndoTech. And I am a master endotechnician, firmly in the matrix when talking cryptos. And please follow us at EndoTech_IO on Twitter, and mine is at HFR from the floor on Twitter. Let's do the rounds and talk. Let's talk about a headline. Doing the rounds, my chance on a daily basis to talk about something that I found interesting via a headline or a tweet or something going on in the Twittersphere or just generally around cryptos. Couple of articles over the weekend talking about this particular one right here. Bitcoin price plunged to 1,000 is possible, say traders. Could it happen? Man, they are really dying for news when they put a headline out, and then you read the article, and I'm sorry, I just, it's traded sideways for a while here now, and so the article was saying since it's traded sideways, they think it's going to happen the same thing that we traded sideways the last time, and that was a halving basically of the price of Bitcoin. We sat in that $6,000 range for several weeks, and then we went to $3,000, right? And so, but for me, what they're missing here is the momentum modeling is completely different. And while, of course, $1,000 price for Bitcoin is a 100% a possibility, what do you mean? Of course it's a possibility. The question is, what is telling you whether that is going to happen or not? And that has all and everything to do with momentum modeling, and we're going to talk about that in the vitals. And they kept on pointing out $4,200 as the level on the upside that they need to take out. Now, I'm here to tell you here today, and I'll talk about it in the vitals section, that $4,200 isn't the level. It's different than that. I got a couple of levels that I need to talk about that are more important than $4,200. Anyway, let's take the vitals. And this week, well, let's just do it. Let's roll it. Taking the vitals, my chance to talk about that blockchain vitals sheet that is up at endotech.io, your actionable trading information in digitized format. And this week I'm going to cover EOS. All right, EOS me this. And we had a really nice run up 2 weeks ago in EOS. And I had said that you had to be very careful. In fact, you needed to be taking profits because they completely outperformed the collar level on the weekly. Last week, a real small range and not much going on. A little bit more potentiality available now on the weekly. And for me, this expanding potentiality on the dailies and the weeklies is completely different than the last time that we traded sideways. We never got enough action to affect the weekly chart, no less the monthly chart. And some of these things are actually starting to print in areas on the monthly that they haven't printed in a long time. So the complete setup is so different than it was when we traded sideways in that $6,000 handle for Bitcoin. But EOS for me right now trading a $3.60, just below the center line on the daily in EOS. But for me, more importantly, still at Mo on the weekly. That level comes in at 330 this week. Room out to 442, which is going to not outpace the high that it made 2 weeks ago. That high was 453. Again, if you're long this thing and we go back to that level above 432 and check out that double top at 453, I think this first time up or this week up into that area, you got to be taking profits. You have to be taking profits through a collar into a double top on a weekly. We said it for forever on the trading floor. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. And if you have great profit in to something like that on a resistance level and you don't take any profits, listen, you got nobody to blame yourself if you don't pull the trigger and take profits. Anyway, again, so the chart on the weekly for sure looks better than what they're doing on that daily fractal. But, a lot of these things are telling a different story on the standard deviation modeling on that weekly fractal. And that's why I am very, very adamant. Let's say that I'm adamant about the fact that the headline is complete bullshit. And this is a complete different setup than it was when Bitcoin was trading $6,000. Now, of course, it can go to $1,000. In fact, there's probably even more room than that, depending on what fractal you look at. And I'm going to cover this in the rest of the vitals section here. But listen, you need to be an EndoTech subscriber. And please go to endotech.io and do that to get all of the actionable trading information. And I'm going to say goodbye to the YouTube crowd. And we will continue with the